Think monk mode is like raw turmeric. Bitter and brutal, but honestly, supposedly good for you. What if I told you the secret to deep and sustainable focus is just knowing how to cook this bitter, raw turmeric into a tasty, effortless curry? For 5 painful years, I chalked down raw turmeric focus attempts, lost in distractions, losing big money. But now, effortless focus days are my norm of 6 to 13 hours because I finally learned the recipe for easy monk mode, the core habits that make it feel effortless, not like punishment. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 stupidly simple habits that will cook up your brutal monk mode into something that you can actually stick to and actually enjoy. To start, let me show you the habit that will ensure every ounce of your effort is aimed perfectly, so you never feel discouraged by your lack of progress again. And for example, I used to be a drop shipper. Summer break in high school, this is when I first started. I decided this was my path to making something of myself. This was my path to success. I decided to wake up. I would grind 6 hours per day, sometimes like 12 hours per day. I would research products, build new listings, figure out the logistics, and you know what? I actually made sales. Basically on my second day doing dropshipping, I made a sale. So I kept this up for 3 fucking years. Sounds like solid monk mode dedication, right? Wrong. This was a complete waste of those 3 years, leaving me with a negative few $100s because of some like return bullshit. Despite all my efforts, I made negative profits. Most productivity gurus would scream, "You didn't grind hard enough." But the thing was, I was already hustling hard. I was legit already doing these 12 hours or whatever, 6 hours a day, like you probably are right now. The truth is, hard work on something that doesn't truly align with you, something that you're only in for the money, like I was, is a guaranteed path to burnout and failure, which is exactly what I got. So I was missing the one simple habit of checking if I was even at the pointed in the right goal in the first place. And you can do that by thinking of your monk mode like a ship. So this sailboat here. In the old days, a ship would navigate using the stars, as you might think. Like you have a star chart and you would navigate with that at night. So you would check probably at least every day at least, and make sure you're always en route, going in the right direction. So practically, you can do this in 3 steps with your monk mode. First is to define your guiding star, essentially your monk mode mission, so to speak. Before anything, you need to get super clear on what this truly is, what you truly want to achieve. Think super hard, and I think a really good framework is, this. I want to help X audience solve Y problem to achieve Z results for whatever reason. So for example, to just get your brain working, this could be like, I want to help men in their 20s with mental health through getting a 6-pack because I used to be fucked up and I got a 6-pack and it helped. And this is like literally something universal that anyone could do. And you take this, whatever you made, so of course yours is probably going to be different, and this is your guiding star, the goal that you're always chasing within your monk mode. Then step 2 is to do a daily star check. So just like in navigation, where you would check your star chart every night and make sure you're going in the right direction, you do exactly the same thing with your monk mode. Every single day, or at least whenever you finish something, you take your to-do list, you take a new to-do list, ideally paper I think is best, and you write down, okay, what I'm going to do for the next day. So you make sure you're en route while you can't see the stars. You just keep that in front of you as the route that you want to go. And step 3 is with that plan. So now you have your to-do list, your top priority 1 to 3 steps. This is like the direction you're going to go throughout the day, right? Within navigation, you would at night figure out, okay, where I need to go, and you just have it planned out. Okay, I need to go in this direction. You just do those 3 steps now the next day, or do those whatever task that you planned. And this kills mindless grind and ensures every monk mode session that you do is packed with actual purpose. And by the way, if you're still wondering right now, like, oh, I don't have a real mission for my monk mode, don't have a real goal, don't have a real guiding star, and I already have a 6-pack, which is honestly a great universal goal for everybody, check out top link in the description. It is a monk mode clarity quiz where I personally review all the answers, give a customer reply within 7 days, completely free with pointers, which will help you get your actual mission, your actual goal in life that you can use within your monk mode. But the thing is, even if you have the perfect goal and the perfect steps planned out all the time, what if you just can't fucking do them because your energy is fucked, your brain is mush? This is where you need the next habit of energy task matching. It is the secret to doing your highest priority tasks all the time, but also keeping you always feeling like actually doing work. To start, think about this. These are probably all excuses that you've had in your mind at some point. I don't feel like it. I'm too tired. My brain is just not working. I keep getting distracted. I'm not motivated. I can't stop procrastinating. These seem like different problems, but they all stem from the same core issue, a mismatch between your actual energy and the amount of energy that a task will take, the level of demand. At this point, most people will reach for external crutches like coffee for energy or some hype music for motivation or an accountability partner for procrastination. But think about it. Our ancestors, or literally any animal on the planet right now, actual monks, they don't need any of these apps or pills or supplements. They just do what is required. They operate on internal rhythms. They engage in the habit of energy task matching automatically, which doesn't force you to work, but instead makes you slip into effective monk mode naturally. And here's the simple framework that you can honestly get set up right now with me if you want. First is to identify your daily tasks or your star aligned tasks. You probably already have this from the previous test, so it's just the 1 to 3 things that you want to do for the day. Part 2 is rank by brain power. So for each task, honestly assess how much mental energy will it demand. So let's say you have 3 tasks for the day, for example. You have some creative writing, you have some learning, you have some filtering email. The creative work, this is like a 10 out of 10 energy task. It requires all your brain power because it's like complex problem solving, or if you're like coding or something like that, anything like that. And just the learning itself, maybe reading, this is like more like a 7 out of 10. A little bit more passive, but you still need to use your brain so you can really comprehend all the information that you're getting and genuinely learn it. But filtering through emails, this is a lot easier, right? This is probably like a 2 out of 10 task. And with that ranking, you want to go to part 3, which is to chart your personal energy waves. So right now, think about how do you actually feel energy-wise. Think about early morning. How do you feel? Rated out of 10. Mid-morning, how do you feel? Noon, how do you feel? Afternoon, how do you feel? Evening, nighttime, and just like early morning, mid-morning, and write it all down. Rate it out of 10. Then, step 4, once you have that as well, you want to do energy matching. This is where the general habit comes in. It's to schedule all your 10 out of 10 brain tasks. So let's say you have this as one of your tasks, and your 10 out of 10 energy time is in the mid-morning and also the early morning. So then that, of course, would mean you match it together. Literally, like, I don't know if you guys seen those matching like paperworks in school. You just match that. Or if sort of towards the afternoon, your energy is more like a 7 out of 10, well then that's when you switch over to your learning task. But once you just learn the concept and do it once, you want to go into step 5, which is to internalize and create this into a real habit. So you build this into a habit that is completely mental and happens automatically super fast within your brain. Because remember here, you don't need the 20 different productivity hacks or apps or different notebooks, journals. Because this is, again, one mental problem, one mental root cause. So you effectively solve it with this one mental habit, feeling peak efficiency. But even with maximum energy and maximum motivation, if you don't realize the moment you get distracted, that's it. Your monk mode is fucked. You find yourself scrolling for 2 hours, not knowing what happened. This is why the next habit, minimal tool awareness, is critical for staying locked in long term, catching all the distractions before they even start. Productivity gurus swear by an arsenal of external tools to solve problems. Calendar blocking, Notion dashboards, bullet journaling, Pomodoro technique, noise canceling headphones. Let's say you set all of them up to perfection. You have every single one. You start your work, you feel good, real hyped up, feeling productive. An hour later, you snap out of it. In sort of like a day, you find yourself 2 hours deep into scrolling YouTube or some random ass social media rabbit hole. What the fuck happened? Think of a distraction like a small ball on top of a hill. When it's stationary, it's no threat. But the moment it starts rolling, even a little bit, it gains momentum. If you try to stop it, when it's already barreling down, it takes massive energy. The key is to catch the ball, that distraction, before it even starts rolling. The problem with external tools is they let the ball roll. Okay, so practically, there are 2 core ways to build the habit of minimal tool awareness, active and passive. The active way, it is the second you feel this distraction ball on top of your focus hill, let's call it, waver as soon as you feel like a little tiny movement, no matter how small it is. That is immediately when you need to stop the drift by glancing at your to-do list, whatever you created as your to-do list. Just a simple piece of paper I think is best. And consciously redirect your mind back to the task, stilling the ball, keeping it still before it even starts to move. Each time you do this, you're not fighting a distraction. You are building awareness muscle within your mind to get that focus endurance without having to waste a lot of energy bringing yourself back from like 2 hours of doom scrolling. But at this point, you might be thinking, oh, redirecting your focus. This sounds a lot like meditation. So that's where the passive way comes in. It is actually meditation. So the reason why I call it the passive way though, is you're taking the actual work out of the equation. Before, you're using your work sort of as meditation itself, building up that awareness. So you make a bit more progress there. You level up a little bit more on that ability to refocus on your work. But the passive way is great because you don't really need something to do, so it's a lot easier to get into. So you're basically 100% just focusing on this ball. It's a lot easier when your brain is super cooked. You just pick a place to focus on. Could be internal or external, a point far away, your breath, maybe your third eye, your heartbeat, maybe a particular sound that's constant like a fan. And whenever your focus drifts, just bring it back, as you may know. Just do this for like 20 minutes. I do this 20 minutes about every night before I sleep. I don't set a timer, but it's probably like 20 minutes. Or whenever you prefer. You don't have to do it at night. You can do it in the morning. And this will also passively train your ability to realize that point where you actually get distracted so you can get back into your work. And with this habit and the other two, easy monk mode should be within your grasp. A sustainable way to finally get shit done, usually. Because if your focus is so completely shattered right now, so utterly dead, that even something as simple as cleaning your room feels like jumping into an ice bath, what if this easy habit still feels miles away? In that case, before you can even think about these habits, you need a way to revive your dead brain, a protocol to revive your dead focus. Well, you can get exactly that by watching this video next, where I'll show you exactly how you can bring your focus back from the grave with something I call the RIP method. It's like a basic monk mode protocol that I created, so that you'll have the strongest foundation possible that you can use to implement these easy monk mode habits all the time.